Hey guys, it's Ed. The future is now, and the future is two things. Okay, this is Tesla stock right here. But the future is two things. I'm going to ask you guys a quick question. I want you to comment about it, okay? There's two things that drive the stock market or stocks. If you know what those two things are, put it in the comments section, because I'm having a feeling that from checking people's responses about how Tesla's performed in the last couple of weeks, they don't know these two things. Okay, so I want to know that everybody understands this, because this is everything. This is like stock market 101. Okay, what really drives stocks, up or down? Anyway, we'll get back to that. But this is Tesla, and I'll give you a quick update about where we were kind of at. I've told you guys before, we started in buying it at 240 when it broke here, and then we added a little bit more in here when it broke the wedge, and added some more shares in here, and we were up at about 90 shares, and then we sold the 90 shares when it cracked the 20-day moving average going down. And then we were in Google and Facebook at the time, and they were making good money as well, so that was good during this little sideways action. Now it cracked the Tesla cracked the 20-day moving average going up. We bought it at 345 partial, and then we loaded up 111 shares at 359. And it's been on a tear ever since. So it was up, I don't know, about $70 a share approximately. I mean, that's like 7,770 or some ridiculous number. But anyway, that's beyond the point. The point is really this, is that buying anywhere in here, once it cracked this, going up, everybody who bought in here at 387, at 390, at 400, good buys. All of these are good buys. Anything going up were good buys. You should be super proud of yourself, because this is when you're supposed to be buying, okay? So all of those were good decisions. I've had people say, well, I bought it. They were like proud of it. They sold it 380 right here. And they're like, oh yeah, I sold it 380. I bought in wherever and sold it at 380. You shouldn't be proud of that, because now you missed out on another $40 plus, $50 a share. There's no sign telling you to sell at 380. Who told you to sell at 380? Why did you sell at 380? What was the rationale behind that? Were you just picking random numbers? Are you throwing darts at a dartboard? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Even people buying at 400, and then somebody said, oh, I sold at 402. And they were really like I sold at 402. They just felt like that was a good spot. 400, that's a number, right? Might as well just sell at some random number. Well, they missed out on 20 some dollars a share. I don't know. What if they had 1,000 shares and they sold there? Oh my gosh, they lost 30,000. They would have made $30,000 in 3 days. Okay, well that would have been a bad move then. I don't know how many shares they had, but I'm just saying it doesn't matter if you have 2 shares or 100 shares or 1,000 shares. It plays the same. The game plays the same way, no matter how much money you have or how many shares you have. You shouldn't play the market any different because you have 10 shares or you have 1,000 shares. You should play it the same way. Okay, the goal is to make money. And I've told you guys this before. You're buying going up. You're selling when it's going down. You don't want to be buying going down and keep losing and losing money. So any buys here, people are making money, and people should be super happy about it. Anyway, so back to the two main things that drive the market. Okay, if you guys didn't guess already, the two things are not buying and selling. Okay, that's not it. That doesn't drive the market. That is an effect of two things, the psychology of it. If you understand the psychology of the market, it's two things. It's confidence and fear. Okay, everybody right now is confident that Tesla's company is solid, and that's driving the buying up. If everybody was fearful, they would be dumping the stock. So what is there to be afraid of? I haven't even heard any news in the last couple weeks that really is driving any fear. Okay? I mean, let's put out people are just going to start putting out fear in this. What fear can you say? I mean, they're putting out all kinds of stuff, the Shanghai factory and all the forward tailwinds that they're going to have is driving all these buys up. There's nothing driving the selling of this stock right now. So just picking a random number up on the bar to sell at on an upward swing makes no sense to me. If you go back to the Apple chart, which I can pull up for a second. And let's just do a quick comparison to Apple. We never really compare the Apple chart. Well, now here's a good spot for a buy. You see my circles are where I usually show good buy spots. You can see it kicking the moving average, and I love that because when it kicks the moving average, it goes up for a long time. So anybody buying in this whole track of Apple should be perfectly happy. If you bought at 250, great. It's at 290 plus. I mean, you're gonna be making money. Okay, any of these buys, where's a sell spot here? Let's look at some sell spots. Okay, you got one little one here, and you would have bought back in. And one little one here, and you would have bought back in. So this would have been, you would have traded in the last July 2019, in the last 7 months, you would have traded on Apple maybe, if you were super tight, 3 times, and you would be making money from anywhere from 290 or, 200 all the way up to 290 a share. That's geez, that's 50%, right? Yeah, so that's a massive gain for Apple. So anybody that's trading Apple positively, that's buying Apple, should be perfectly happy. I don't think should be hearing any complaints from any Apple shareholders. Anyway, let's check another stock. Why not? Okay, what's next? Let's check. Hang on a second. We'll check, Facebook. Okay, remember, I told you, sold at Facebook when it cracked that moving average. And then we bought back into Facebook right around 200, I think it was 201 or something. So, and back in Facebook, with some shares there, and they're moving up. It's at an all-time high. Okay, so Facebook's at an all-time high. Tesla's basically at an all-time high. There's been trading all-time highs. Now let's go to Google. Google also all-time highs. Okay, let's take a look at Google here. Yep, Google, all-time high, 1360. Why would I be selling? Why? Because it's on a high? It doesn't matter if it's an all-time high. It was an all-time high over here. Should I have sold at 1341? It was an all-time high here. There's nothing telling you to sell. It didn't cross the moving average going south. So it's not, the trend is going up. You don't need to sell you're not selling going up. You're buying going up. Everybody's buying going up, I hope. You shouldn't be selling going up randomly. That's arbitrarily. I mean, if you needed to cash out money to do something or start a business or whatever else you're going to do, if you have a justification for selling, I totally get that. Okay? If you're moving money in and out to do other things positively, that's perfectly fine. But don't justify the selling point at some number, at some random number. You're basically, buy on the confidence, and sell on the fear. That's what everybody's selling, on the fear. Don't be the one that's causing the fear. Put it that way. Okay, and then we've got, Spice, I forgot. I told somebody asked me, I can't remember his name right offhand. He said, give me an adjustment on Spice. Or Space, sorry. I call it Spice, but whatever. It's SPCE, Virgin Galactic Holdings. And let's see how the chart was. Okay, so you can see it cracked the moving average here. And we're actually loaded up pretty good. I mean, not a lot of shares. I mean, it might have been total of, let's see, 75 and, I think it's 75 and 80. So it's like 155 shares. So it's not a ton of shares. But anyway, this is a high-risk stock, so there's no reason to go crazy. But it's been kind of on a tear too. Okay, it broke that moving average. It's on a tear. It's pulled back for a couple days. But it's almost at its IPO spot. So even anybody buying in at the IPO, you're basically back to even. Even if you bought it at the worst possible spot, you're almost back to even now on the trend. But this is also going up. So I don't really see anything. I'm not going to see anything. We don't have numbers behind the stuff. We don't even have the first quarterly report on really how much they're going to lose, because it's going to be an amount of loss. They're not generating any money right now. So this is a startup company essentially. So even though they've been testing for 10, 12 years, I can't remember, it's been a long time. So, but anyway, I was trying to give an update on Space, and it moves really wildly. I mean, it moves 60 cents or 30 cents, which is a huge percentage move. It moves like 3 to 4% every day usually. I mean, it's pretty severe. It moves pretty extreme because it's high volatility, and stock. And plus, you have to buy it in. A lot of times, you're buying it in ask price and bid price. This is not a good example because it's only 1 penny difference. But a lot of times, it's like 5 or 10 cents more you'd have to buy it for. So you're taking a 10-cent loss basically just by buying it in at a 10-cent higher price. You might have to buy it at 1078 or something. So you're losing 10 cents on every share the minute you buy in, basically, almost, if you look at it that way. And that's for low end stocks that are high volatility stocks like that. And, new stuff. That was the new IPO is right here. Anyway, so that's kind of the update. I don't see this is why I've been quiet. What do I have to talk about? You want me to get on here and just brag? Oh yay, look at how good we did. What is there to talk about? The stock market's going up. We're loaded in Google, Facebook, space, and Tesla, and we're loaded up, and the market's going up. Everything's at all-time highs except for space, which is pretty close to where its IPO is. So I don't know what to tell you guys. Honestly, I don't know what more can I tell you, Anyway, let's go back to that's Apple again. Let's go back to Tesla real quick. Recycle the page and see if it's changed at all. And now it's almost even for the day. And it's just, there's almost no negativity behind this stock lately. So if you're going to sell just because you're afraid of losing money up here, if you're going to sell because you're afraid of losing something up here, then go for it. Because you're the type of person that's driving the market for fear. Okay? But there's absolutely no reason to be selling this stock if you own it. I wouldn't put a gun to my head, maybe I'll sell it. Okay? But there's nothing telling me to do it otherwise. Okay? It would have to be like a forced situation. I'd have to be strapped on cash or needing money for something or whatever it is. It's incredible run. Why would I just let it run? Okay, look, let me use a poker analogy. A lot of people play poker, so you can understand this stuff. But what hand do you have here? What starting hand is this? Is this kings? Is it aces? Is it pocket twos? What are you dealing with? Ace Jack here? How good is this hand from here? Look at this and see how good it looks to you. Does this look like a terrible starting hand or a solid starting hand? Think about it that way. Or, are you on the river right now, last card in, and you've got like a full house? Are you really worried about, are you confident about that hand? Think about it that way maybe. For all the poker player, or put it to whatever job that you have. Actually, do it to that. Whatever job you have specifically. Let's look at Tesla and compare it to it. Maybe you're super confident with what you do. Are you super fearful that you're going to lose your job or that everything's going to go bad? A lot of people have that fear of different things, bad things happening all the time. But think about it to your own personal thing. I don't know how to equate it, but everything in the market is confidence and fear. Everybody just throws numbers. Oh my gosh, is Tesla overvalued at 420? Should I still be buying? Where is the data telling you? Give me some data. Don't be giving me these company evaluation stuff. I don't want to hear about that. I want to see what the trend is. I want to see what millions of people are doing. Are millions of people positive and confident in buying, or are millions of people selling and afraid? Okay? So if everybody else is afraid and selling, I'm getting out. I'm not going to get trapped in that ball of fear. Okay? And if they're buying, I'm going to be in as low as I can be in on that buying trend up. So to maximize. So back to the poker analogy, you want to win the biggest hands you can for the most amount of chips, and you want to reduce the losing hands because you're going to have them. Reduce the losing hands to the minimum amount you can lose. So let your streaks run and make as much money as you can on the big hands. Tesla's a big hand here now. It's not a stock that moves at like $1 a day. It's a big moving stock. So there's a chance to make big pots here for it. If you really want to look at it in the poker analogy, okay? I played millions of hands of poker, 2 million plus hands of poker. So I've seen a lot of that fear and confidence in that game. And this is what the stock market's all about. It's a gamble. Don't think you're not gambling every day. My dad was, oh no, I'm investing. You are not investing. Don't act like all these people are investors. You are gamblers. You are gambling on the future. You are betting that your hand is better than somebody else's, and vice versa. So this is a zero-sum game, and if you don't understand how the rules of the game even work, what's the point? Okay? And the game is driven on confidence and fear. Stop trying to pick random numbers on the market. Oh, 440, I'm going to sell it. 440, if it gets out, I'm going to sell. Why? So when it goes up to 490, you're going to regret it? I'm not telling you to buy or sell anything based on a number. Buy and sell based on the trends. If it's going up, you're going to be making money. I cannot reiterate this more. Stop buying when something, people are, I'm going to buy the dip, I'm going to buy the, well, the dip can turn into a crash. So buying the dip is okay, right? But it could turn into a crash of a stock. I'm not saying it's going to turn into a crash on Tesla or whatever. I mean, eventually this stock has to come back to some normal levels. The question is, the normal levels may be 480. What if it shoots up to 500 and then drops back to 480? You don't sell out now knowing that it's going to drop at some point in time. You're just guessing again. Stop guessing. There's no need to guess here. There's reasons, there's charts here, there's data here. There's reasons that we have charts on this. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've seen a technical chart on an art painting or a song. I've never seen a chart like this on a song or a painting. You know, I don't think I've seen it on, geez, I honestly haven't even seen it when it comes to golf, poker, pool, billiards, anything. I've never seen a chart like, because this is economics. This is a different game. Okay. It's still a game that you're trying to win. You're not trying to beat everybody else. You're just trying to win pots and win money. You're not trying to beat everybody else and pick some random number. Okay, anyway, I can go on a rant pretty much forever about this because I just keep seeing people say the same thing. Like, oh, I sold it 422. Guy's super proud. Or I sold it 400. And they were like proud of that sell. And I'm thinking, man, you're proud of selling it. Why would you be proud of losing $30 a share? That makes no sense. Okay, none. You know, so I'm going to wait. We're in, maximum in right now. And pretty high percentage, you know, it's like, I don't know, 25, 30%, which is high, you know, but that's how much confidence I have in the stock and based on the technicals. If you follow the technicals, you don't need to have confidence yourself in your mind. I'm just, you know, playing the game, okay? We were dealt aces here. This is aces here, kings, okay? So why not take them pots? So we're just taking the pot off right now. It's that simple, okay? And then when we get a 2-7 offsuit, we'll just fold. No big deal. We can just fold a couple hands. It's not the end of the world. Keep the losses minimal. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you at that, but make sure you subscribe. If you want like real information, basically on how the market works, all the data behind it, and without having to just get a bunch of numbers thrown at you, and to learn the real sophistication of what the market's really doing. And it's not complicated again. This to me is simple. This is the simplest game I probably have ever played. People are like, whoa, why don't you just do it for a living all the time? I'm doing a lot of things. So, I mean, I am trying to do it as well, but it's like, I mean, everybody has the things they're doing. This isn't like my specialty. Okay, this isn't even my specialty. I'm good at a lot of things, but this is just something that I have so much years of experience at it. And it's basically because the first things I learned were proper fundamentals. I learned from books. I learned from things that were all about technical analysis and how and why the stock market did what it did, and read tons of books about this. So, and I'm just giving data that was kind of stored in my head. I don't really read the technical stuff anymore because I don't have to. I already know how to play the game. I mean, it's not a complicated game to play. I mean, it doesn't mean every single hand I'm going to pick a winner and do this right or that right. I mean, there's a lot more to it when it comes to picking stocks and other things, and we'll get into those. But anyway, I'm going to leave you all at that again. And please, subscribe, like for sure. Anything you can do to benefit, so we can put out more content and everything. It just helps the channel all around. And I do appreciate it. And Merry Christmas to you guys. And I mean, Tesla, if you guys were in it, that's a huge Christmas present for everybody that bought in Tesla. So you should be proud of yourselves, guys. All right, take care.